welcome to the Lindy Sports post-game report. We're coming to you from the Spectrum Center. He's the Coach Toney. I am Coach Dick Cox reporting on tonight's Charlotte Regional game between UMBC, the Giant Killers, and Kansas State. And again, this was a ball game tonight that we really didn't know a whole lot about. We knew that UMBC played a great game in knocking off the Virginia Cavaliers, the #1 team in the country and the #1 seed in this, though. But we wondered what they'd have left tonight coming in, Coach Toney. And I tell you what, these kids from the Retrievers is their nickname. They came out here and they played with a heck of a lot of heart tonight.
Hey, you're absolutely right there. You know, they were diving for loose balls, and just give credit to both teams. You know, even though the score was relatively low, both teams were really getting after it on the defensive end.
Your final score tonight was Kansas State does advance, and I believe they take on Kentucky next by the score of 50-43. But this score was a one-possession game going into the final minute of play. But you could see tonight, and I had a chance to go in the locker room and talk with the Retriever players, that their legs were gone. The shots that they knocked down against against Virginia, free throws, they got the shots they wanted tonight, but they just couldn't knock them down. As from shooting, they shot 29% from the floor. They were 14 out of 47. They were 6 out of 22 from the three-point line for 27%, and only knocked in 9 out of 18 from the free throw line, and still only lost by 7.
Hey, you're right there, Coach, because, you know, we counted numerous times when there's only about 1 or 2 point differential between K-State and UMBC that they just couldn't, those shots just wouldn't drop. It wasn't that they didn't have good shots. They had good shots, but the ball just didn't go in the hoop.
And so the Darlings, and again, these guys, I asked them, did it put any pressure on you? Did y'all even stop to think about it, that you were America's team, that America fell in love with this team? And you know what? America needed to find a team to fall in love with all the corruption that went on in college basketball, with the investigations, with the scandals and everything. America was desperately looking for a team that they could adopt as their team, and this was the team right here. And I tell you what, they could be proud of this team, because this team played with heart. They were diving for loose balls. They played with every ounce of energy they had. They were outmanned. Everybody on the other teams at every position was bigger than them, stronger than them, though. But these guys battled their hearts out for 2 games.
Hey, you're absolutely right. And, Coach, there's one thing I liked toward the end of that ball game. Did you see where both teams were literally hugging one another? They were showing mutual respect for each other, and that was a sign of great sportsmanship.
Well, this is what college basketball is all about, for teams to be able to do that, to go and do that and have that kind of respect, though. Yeah. But I had a chance to catch up with 2 of the key players for the Retrievers after the game. I talked with Jarius Lyles, who was their leading scorer, and tonight Jarius had 12 points. He was the leading scorer, but he struggled. He was only 4 out of 15 from the floor, 1 out of 5 from the three-point line, and 3 out of 6 from the free throw line. And I talked to KJ Mara, their point guard, though, and asked them, you know, pretty much about what they learned from this weekend. And they said they learned a lot of things about all the media. They have dealing with the media and a lot of the things that they did not, you know, had never known anything about, and about the pressures playing these teams. They said they also learned they could play with the big boys, which was big. And I said, you know, this tournament's designed to give every team an equal chance at trying to win. And I said, you guys prove you belong here. And, you know, I asked them, I said, when you get to be an old man like me and retired, what will you tell your grandkids and kids? Right. And they said that we knocked off the #1 team in the country will be the big things to see. And we just see it right here that I believe Florida State just knocked off another #1 team right here, though. But, again, these young men are what college athletics is all about. They were talking about, you know, going back to Baltimore and kind of getting into things. So, but this will be a weekend. I said, what did you learn from your weekend in Charlotte? And they said this would be a weekend that they would never forget, though. But for one shining moment, 2 ball games, we got to follow a team that brought a lot of happiness, and a team America be proud of as adopting their team.
Hey, you're absolutely right there, Coach. And like I told you earlier this afternoon, that the monetary value of what that win could do for UMBC could generate up to about $120 million.
So that's going to wrap it up tonight. Again, our first game, as we mentioned, North Carolina Tar Heels lost by 21 to Kansas State. They will advance on to Los Angeles next week. I'm not sure where Kansas State will go to, but we do know they will be taking on Kentucky, though. But you have been watching the Lindy's post-game report coming to you from the Spectrum Center here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And again, Coach, I enjoyed watching the games. Been very tiring, but very eventful.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, we saw history in the making, didn't we, Coach?
We saw history.
UMBC.
And we got to see March Madness at its best as two teams come out of this regional that nobody, I guarantee, had on their bracket unless you lived in Kansas State. And there might be a few in Baltimore that picked their team. I don't think so, though. But the Kansas State people will go on to play. The Texas A&M people will advance on.
Yeah,
Congratulations to those teams.
A&M's going to be playing Michigan, aren't they?
Yes, they are. So that's going to wrap it up here from Charlotte. He's Coach Toney. I'm Coach Cox. We appreciate you tuning in for the Lindy Sports, Cox Sports Broadcasting Sports Report.